welcome to my Vloggypod. My name is Sherry. Thank you for coming to spend some time with me. How are you? It is Saturday the 26th of June, I think. I used to be so good at dates, I don't know when that happened. And it's a lovely sunny day, which actually has quite confused me because I was all kind of set for a rainy, overcast day. Do you do that when you think you know what the day is going to be, so you've set it out, and now it's lovely weather and I'm thinking I should be outside. Also, I apologise in advance if you hear drilling and sawing. My husband is making me some planters out there, and I don't want to stop him now he's got started. So, not that he was reluctant to start, but you know, now that he's got started, I don't want to get him to stop. He's also actually made me a little planter, which I'll try and add a bit into my vlog if I haven't already. I mean, there's barely anything in it. It's my herbs, but in fact, my coriander is already bolted. Not quite sure what to do about that. Anyway, waffle already. Legal requirements talking about the weather out of the way. So, on we go. So, it's been a busy week, and I said in my last video that I was inspired to make a dress. Why was I inspired to make a dress? I think it may have been the sewing bee, don't remember. Oh, what's the end of the sewing bee as well? Which, whilst I think the person who won was a brilliant sewer, I also thought, I don't want to give anything away if you haven't watched the final, but I also thought there was someone else there who had improved so much, and I thought it was lovely. But anyway, so I was going to make a dress, and I've been talking to a couple of friends. That's a saw going off. Carrie, who is Candy Patch Designs, and Busy Pottering. And basically, we were talking dresses, and we were going to make dresses, and I think they've done theirs and made theirs, and I haven't even cut mine out yet. So I'm using just an old quilt, just an old white quilt. It's good, it's lovely, nice quality cotton. I've had it years and years and years, and I could dye it and use it again, because I'm not going to use that, it's a bit faded, and you know what I mean, when it loses its lovely white. And anyway, I'd like something new. Well, I haven't used it for ages. Oh, Sherry, pull yourself together. Anyway, the point is, I thought it would be good for a dress because it's quite good quality, and I was going to use some lovely, second lovely, ditzy print cotton, but Carrie said she was using an old duvet, and I thought that is a good idea. So anyway, I haven't said what I'm doing. So I'm doing the Hinterland dress, which is so liberated. Because I want something that I'm just going to be able to put on every day, and it's just relaxed. I didn't want anything too tight, and this looks lovely. And I think Amy from Taylor S Studio is, oh, she's expecting, that's exciting. I think she made just the top, like a crop top from this. I remember seeing this ages ago and thinking I wanted to do it. So if you can't see it properly, you probably know it anyway. But it's that sort of design. So you can have different sleeves. I think I've cut out, traced off the short sleeve. Anyway, so and because I was impatient, and actually there was no point being impatient because I could have sent off and got it by now, but I did the digital download, because you can get digital or print or both, and you have to stick it all together, which caused quite a few swear words. But anyway, once that was done, you then have to trace it off, don't you? So I did that, and then I put the pattern up against me, and it was too smooth, and it came into here, so I then had to trace it all off again. So I'm at the point, after a week, of having traced the pattern off. But and that was my plan for today, but I might have to go outside in the garden today, we'll see. But I will cut that out today. Right, so that's the first thing, my dress. Oh, and Carrie has made, she wants to make one in gingham. Gingham is very close to my heart after polka dots, so I think that's a lovely idea. Anyway, so the other thing, last time I spoke I was doing a wren embroidery. I started it. So that little embroidery is finished. I don't know if I'm doing a particularly good job of showing you. But anyway, the idea with that I wanted to, rather than do well, I think I talk about this in my vlog actually, I'll probably make more sense than I am now, but rather than fill it with stitches, I wanted to just sort of suggest the colour. So it's a kind of using lots of little stab stitches and longer stitches, because I think that actually gives him, because it's a he, a bit of character. So yeah, that one's done. And so I wanted to find some different ways of doing it, because as I said, this is going to be a pattern that I will release, but it's also going to be on Patreon. There'll be a little stitch along and the pattern will be there to download. And so I wanted to find different ways of doing it for when I'm doing my Patreon video, to give people a different idea. So the other thing that I want to do, which I have done, if you can see that, which I have done a lot in the past on robins, because robins, I used to embroider lots and lots of robins, and I often did that on the robin. I would do the breast in red and then a little bit of colour on the outside. So I've just put some watercolour on that just to suggest the colour a little bit more. And then I'm going to put these stitches on again. It just gives you just a different way of doing it. And then come up with a few things that you could do with it. So that's my little wren. And that, as I said before, that was inspired by Christopher's wren that he did. So actually at this point I should talk about Christopher, because I don't think I've done this before. I get lots and lots of messages every week saying thank you, that you love your parcels, which is always lovely. But although it's my name and I'm the one who's always doing the podcast, Christopher is very much an equal 50-50 in all of the contributions and the way we work together. So we will often sit and we'll come up with what we want to do. So we talked about the birds that we wanted to do this year, and we've got lots of lovely ones that we're going to be, they're going to be artwork for and colourways for our wild bird collection. And we will sit and we'll talk about it, and then we'll talk about colours and the yarns that you get. Christopher's does a lot of the dyeing, because I'm making bags and doing embroidery and things like that. So just really, I mean, what can I tell you about him? He's my grown-up son. He's my youngest son. He has his degree was in ancient history and politics, I think. But he went on to do a master's in creative writing. So, and has also been shortlisted for poetry and all things like that. So he's very artistic. And so, for example, for the Advent, we do a little narrative. I write the narrative, but we will work on it together. Once it's written, we will sit and we'll go through and tweak it. And I just think it's important that you know that Christopher is so involved in what we do, because he's a bit shy. He won't show his... I'm shy. But so the artwork that you do, occasionally you'll see something from me, but it's mainly Christopher. So his artwork, which actually this... did I just say this? No, I don't think I did. This is a piece that's being downloaded onto Patreon, or uploaded onto Patreon today. So if you're one of our patrons, you'll be able to print that off and frame it, or do whatever you want with it. Colour that, actually, that would be lovely to do. My mum does a lot of colouring in. I used to spend hours colouring in. I'm not going to go down there because that's another route I'm going to talk about. But anyway, I just thought it was important to say that because I don't know if I've said that before. Right, so that's what I'm about to do and doing. And oh, there's one other thing I'll show you actually, which I've started. So I wanted to show you this as well, which has got pins stuck in it precariously that I use, which my friend Helena, who is Edelweiss Knits, made me. I use it all the time, Helena, if you're watching. Yeah, I love getting all my, I've got lots of little things like that, and Nikki, the things that I get from Nikki Franklin, from her calendar. Oh, her calendar. Oh, that's my needle thread. I don't know what I'd be without that. Merchant and Mills, actually, that's a particularly good one. Sometimes they break a lot, don't they? That's a good one. Yeah, I love to get all my bits out and lay out things from Nikki Franklin and things people send me. Anyway, one more thing, which is that I'll show you actually, that I've started is you probably can't see my design, but there's some lavender on there that I'm doing in undyed thread, because we've bought in some embroidery thread, and I'm trying it out basically to make sure, you know, to see what it's like and how it is to use. So this one is with the intention that we're going to be dyeing these. Sorry, I didn't finish what I was going to say. So this one is 75%, no it's not, it's 55% Blue Face Leicester, 45% silk, and then this one is 100% silk. So that was a silly face. Anyway, so that's something new that we're going to be doing, which we're looking forward to. And I was just, like I said, trying it out, just doing some lavender. Right, I'll put that back over there. I've got my cup of tea. This is the same tea I had before. This is a mug that my friend Jodie, who is Tatty Cats and Yarny Towels. Thank you, Jodie. I use it all the time. We've got a little wag towel, which I've probably talked to you about lots and lots of times. And we did have lots and lots and lots of doves. And at one point we had about nearing 30 doves that we used to have that would just arrive of a morning and camp out. So I've had to dissuade them because I couldn't feed the little birds. And so I've had to, but they're very cunning, these doves, and you'll go outside and you'll suddenly find them peering over the side of the house or something to see what you're going to be doing. So I've had to find some cunning places to feed them, and I put some cheese out from my wag towel on the little bar running down the fence, and the doves try and land on it, but they can't, and so I've just seen my wag towel go and get his cheese. Didn't need to know that, but I've told you anyway. Anyway, move that out of the way because I don't want that going over this. So things I want to do, because I do like things on the go, and I think that's okay. I used to make myself feel bad about that because I think, well, everyone's got all these things finished, but I like to have different sort of things to do. Anyway, my friend Sharon, who is, I get this wrong every time, SCR1TNO, randomly sent me as a gift a little while ago these. So these are 100% linen threads, and oh, I can't think who they're by. I can't see who they're by actually. I'll put it under, I'll put the link underneath. Haven't tried them yet actually. I got them out the other day to try them and thought about what I was going to do with them and didn't, but got those to use. Thank you, Sharon. Especially like that colour actually. They're all, I mean, they're all beautiful, but I do love that one. And she bought me some linens as well. So I'm going to be doing that. I do not know what I'm going to be doing with that. And the other thing that I want to do is my friend Emily, who is Salt City Knits. We did a swap, probably wasn't last year, probably the year before that. And she sent me these, which I probably showed you at the time. Oh. So this is on her classic sock, and this one is Stargazer. and this one is Cordelia. What's that? King Lear, isn't it? You can't hear this, but upstairs I can hear Tommy, my cat, my rescue cat, charging around. He does this every now and then. He will literally tear from room to room and fly up and down the stairs. Still hasn't gone out in the garden yet. He's still scared of his own shadow, but every now and then he just charges around, and he's not light on his feet. So I don't know if you can hear that. You probably can't, what with the drill. Anyway, I've got to use them. I've been getting them out and giving them a little squish every now and then, which is also a legal requirement, but I think the time has come. I don't know whether to actually use them together, or I don't know what to do. I might. That one in particular is absolutely gorgeous. So anyway, they're my plans. But I must finish. I've got a pair of socks that I'm doing. I can't remember what they're called. They've got a bird design, Hokey Locatelli shorties that I'm doing. Got to finish them. And I'm also, it's actually a pattern by Emily again. Oh, her yarn is Yarnberry, by the way, if you could see that. So her account, she's Salt City Knits, but she's also Yarnberry, because they're based on literary things. And she also did a pattern that I got, which was called her Fizz Socks. I've got to finish those as well. So when those two things are finished, that's going to be the next, which I shall juggle with the embroidery and the dressmaking and the gardening and everything else, because that's what makes me happy. So what are you doing? Tell me what you're making. And because this all came about because of things I've seen and people suggesting things, so I just think it's lovely to, you know, inspire each other, really. So yeah, tell me what you're doing. So just very quickly now, I just wanted to quickly mention the Advent, because I've had quite a few messages lately about the second payment. If you have ordered one of our Advents, thank you for ordering. The final payment does come out in July, but do not worry, because I will put it on Instagram, I'll put it in the newsletter, and if you don't respond, see those, do not worry, I will message you anyway. But there will be a listing going up sometime in July, but we're quite chilled about it, so don't worry. And there will be a few extra going up probably at the end of August, maybe beginning of September. The other thing that I'm going to do is, last year, for the first time, we did the mindfulness Advent, which was, we had a few, I think we had about 5 or 6 days of yarn in there, and then the rest of it was, so it's like a creative Advent. So if you like journaling, if you like slow stitching, flower pressing, all that kind of thing, writing, that's what it was aimed at. And each day was something different for you to do or think about, not necessarily on that day, perhaps after Christmas is over and all through the year, to just think, oh, I've got that to do. So we are going to do it again this year, and it will be going up fairly soon. But the difference this time this year is it's going to be 50-50. So it's going to, the idea is you open a mini one day, which in each one of our minis will come wrapped in tissue paper and then in a little bag like they do for the Advent. And the next day will be something different. It might be vintage, it might be, well, I can't tell you what it might be because it is a surprise, but it's just all different bits, and we've very nearly got everything together for it. The colours, because I know quite a few people last year bought the Advent and the mindfulness, the colours won't be the same as the Advent, they'll be completely different. So if that was something you're interested in, we'll be listing that fairly soon, as soon as I've got everything else that I want for it, because I just get worried in case there's another lockdown or something that I wouldn't be able to finish it, because it was very stressful last year. So anyway, that's that. So that's Advent talk. So I was just going to show you a few things that I went into the shop yesterday, and then what I've been watching, and then there's a little vlog at the end this time to keep you on your toes. So I don't have it here to show you, and I don't think I showed you on the last one, but every month we do some wildflower minis. We used to do a wildflower minis club, and where we looked at wildflowers of that month, and what we're doing now is we're looking at an individual plant or flower and doing a collection of minis on that. So I'll put a picture in here because this they've sold out and I don't have any skeins ready to show you, but it's wild honeysuckle and it's pretty, lots of pinks. So hopefully you've seen a picture of that and the main skein, which I will be putting some pre-orders up this evening because it's only going to be available for another few days because that's June's wildflower cutaway. Because a lot of people have been getting confused because of the different minis, and because we have a wildflower meadow collection, people are like, well, is that part of your minis? It isn't. The monthly minis are designed to work so that each month will transition. The ones that the others that are in the shop won't. I mean, I'm sure they'll go beautifully, but they're not designed to actually follow a month for month. Does that make sense? So anyway, a couple of colourways that went in last night. So this is Meadow Walk. So on our walks we go for a walk every single day, and we notice there's a little meadow that we walk past, and we've noticed there's quite a few like purpley lavender flowers in there. So this is sort of paying homage to that really. And the illustration actually that Christopher has done there is the meadow vetch, which is this sort of colour here that you get. So that's Meadow Walk, which is greens, the browns, you know, for the grasses, and yeah, the mauves. And then that is the Meadow Walk Mani, which is to complement it. So that's Meadow Walk. That's now on pre-order. There are a few of those left ready to ship in the shop. And then the names of this week's colourways were very much inspired by a lady called Ella Fraser Weller, who's a poet, and she wrote some beautiful poems. And so these are this week's colourways, which you can have in any sort of order really. They're a little fade. You could have the lavenders fading in, or you could have the blues fading in. But they are, so I've got a bag which I'll show you in a second, which is the Sweetest Stories of Summer. And I say these names came from a poem that I was reading of hers, so that's Sweetest Stories of Summer, which is lavenders, browns on a natural base. And then this one is I Heard the Grass is Talking. Oh, I Heard the Grass is Talking, which is the powder blues and it's like a soft caramel brown, very gentle brown. And then this one is A Pillow of Violets Blue, which is, as you can see, powder blue and lavenders, and they were sort of dyed up to go together if you're looking for three colours together. And they actually go as well really well with this one, which has got the green in it. So yeah, so they're all in the shop. I think they're all on ready to ship. If not, we will put a few up on pre-order. And one other one, because I keep showing you the things that are in the shop that aren't for sale, so I thought I'd show you what is in there. So this one is Un Bouquet d'Amour, which I think I probably showed you before. This was inspired by my wedding bouquet and my absolute obsession, which is why I had this colour as my wedding bouquet, with yellow and sort of lavender, which I had an absolute obsession with. Couldn't wear those colours now, but I would wear lavender and grey. But anyway, that's what inspired that. This is the bag. This is the Sweetest Stories of Summer bags and pouches this week. The little lavender bags that I've made to go with it have got some little vintage lace on it as well, which I couldn't resist putting on. So that's a little box pouch, which, as I've said before, could be for your bedside, for you on your desk, for whatever, or you could use it for a mini project, because I mean it's pretty small. You'd have it open, but it's fine. I've got one with socks in it. So there are some of those that I've made, and also a drawstring, which has got the same lining, which is a grey checked lining, and that will take a couple of skeins, box bottom, and little hand sewn tabs, which I do. So they're the bags that have gone in, and which all sort of go with all of these as well. They all sort of go in with each other. We try and do a sort of coordinated collection each week, and that is in the Wildflower Meadow. If you go to the website, there is new to the shop or restocked, you know, colourways that we've re-dyed again, but these are actually part of the Wildflower Meadow collection. And the other 3 colourways that are available, well, I'm sure there are more, but is this one, which is Wild Cornflowers, which goes beautifully with this one, which is Bluebell Walk. And these are the Wildflower Meadow minis, which there are some available ready to ship now as well, because we've been dying. So I think that's everything I wanted to say, well, apart from what I've been watching. So I think last time I talked, I was obsessed with Line of Duty, still obsessed with Line of Duty. Shall I tell you that? No, I'm not going to tell you that. No. So, and I was looking for something else to watch, because my husband, he always does this. Halfway through, he'll say, like, he'll come into the room and he'll say, "What's he said? What's happening?" And I'm like, if you want to watch it, watch it. I'm not going to keep telling you what happens every time. So he's decided on series 4, I think I'm on now. He's earwigged enough on the others to kind of know what's going on, although he's still annoyingly sort of saying to me, why is he in it? But he watches it much more slowly than me, so I needed something else to watch to fill the gap when he wasn't ready to watch it with me. So some of you suggested Innocent. Oh, thank you for your lovely suggestions as well, and I do read them because I've been watching them, and somebody suggested an amazing website, which again I'll try and put underneath. Instagram account, Nature One. Oh, thank you for that. I've lost my track. What was I going on about? Innocent. So some of you suggested Innocent, as did my friend Nikki at the cottage. She said you'll love Innocent. Watch both of those. Watch both series. Loved that. So please help me. What do I watch next? Because I really enjoyed Innocent. I thought it was really good, actually. Yeah, I think I'm going to stop waffling now. So, wishing you a happy weekend if you're watching this fairly soon after it's gone on. And thank you so much for coming to spend some time with me and listening to me waffling on and losing my place, etc. And happy crafting. And yeah, let me know what you're making. I'd love to know what you're making. Thank you. Look what I've just opened. So I've got this beautiful card and a lovely note, and this is from lovely Rachel, who is so me. Such a surprise, just landed on my doorstep, and she said she saw this and thought of me. I cannot tell you how happy this has made me today. Just lovely, the thought that she's walked into a shop and thought, oh, Sherry would love that. I just think that's so lovely. Yeah, and look how gorgeous it is. I mean, William Morris, Arts and Crafts, absolutely me. Need to go there. And look, where is it? Let me find it. There's a quilt pattern in here as well. Yeah, look at that. I mean, if I'm honest, a little bit past me, beyond me, but no, it's not. I could definitely do that. Isn't it lovely? So thank you, lovely Rachel, if you're watching. Look at that. Quite made my day, my week, my year, as I sound, friends. Anyway, onwards with a little skip. Having a little play with birds this afternoon. So I'm doing a little wren pattern, which I'm hoping to, pattern that I'm hoping to release, and I'm going to be doing a little wren sort of stitch along on my Patreon. So I am having a little play at all the different ways you can do it. So you can do it like this, where you kind of suggest the colour through little slab stitches. He's a gorgeous fat little wren, look at him. Rather than sort of solid fill like I've done with this robin. But also I quite like the idea of putting a little bit of colour on first, which I did back in the day when I used to do quite a few robins. I used to like putting colour on, so just sort of indicating like sort of the reds and the, you know, the main colours, and then just putting some overlay stitches on. So yeah, and this is all sort of inspired by Christopher's wren that he drew, like a pen and ink sketch sort of style. So yeah, I'm not quite sure. See how that's just dried, so I'm just about to stitch on it first time round. I get this little one finished this evening. Yeah, I used to do lots and lots of robins, so I must do some more. We've got a little robin in our garden at the moment. I do love them. I've just gone away and found this little guy because I couldn't remember the last thing I'd done with a robin. It was this, which was making a book cover. And I remembered that actually I had said on one of my videos that I was going to do a tutorial for how to do these, and I completely forgot, so I must do that actually. Anyway, robins and wrens everywhere. I was talking the other day when I received Rachel's gift about how things like that dropping onto your mat make you feel happy, and this is a little card I got from Patty. Patty, if you are watching, thank you, and a reply. I mean, this was a thank you, but I like writing anyway. Will be on its way. Yeah, she just wrote me a lovely thank you note. I just look at the card though. So I have them all hanging together now, all my cards. But anyway, I thought I'd show you that because that's so lovely. At the back of my desk at the moment. So we have this week, we have got some more minis going in, and these are a meadow walk. So when we were on our walk the other day, we noticed, there's a bit of yellow there, but we noticed lots and lots of kind of lavendery purpley, this sort of colour here, lots of that. So we have put together some minis. We were going to put some yellow when we originally planned it, but there wasn't that much yellow there. So even things like this, these grasses, you can see the almost purple in it, and the meadow vetch, which is everywhere, which is that one. There's lots of varieties of that one. So yeah, that's, I think Christopher's done a little label. That's the meadow vetch actually. So they are hopefully reflecting. So the wheaty colours and the browns are for the grasses that you can see, and in certain lights these were coming out quite bright, and other times they were quite subdued, but anyway. And these pretty little bags as well. Love that fabric. Just made quite a few of those. Yes, anyway, onwards.